What's up, everybody? I'm Alan Seslowsky, and thanks for tuning back into RosterWatch. RosterWatch recently participated in our first real fantasy football season-long draft. The participants were made up of experienced, competitive SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Channel hosts. We drew the 8th pick in the snake format. The format was a PPR draft where you had to start one quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a flex, a tight end, and a defense. The participants for this draft and the draft board are linked in the article or in the description of this video. Round 1 takeaways. There were 9 of the top 12 players taken in this draft were running backs. 2 wide receivers were taken in the first round, and the return of the first round tight end. And there appears to be more risk in the first round compared to recent years. Despite missing most of the year with an injury, Christian McCaffrey was easily the consensus 1-1. The guru John Hanson selected CMC without hesitation. In the few games McCaffrey did play, he averaged an eye-popping 30 fantasy points. You could feel comfortable and confident taking McCaffrey with the first overall pick. With pick number 2, Sirius host Jim Coventry took RosterWatch number 2 ranked player Dalvin Cook. Dalvin's had an injury history in the past, but in 2020 stayed remarkably healthy and remarkably productive. He's in his peak age of 25 years old, and Dalvin is an easy number 2 overall pick. Friend of RosterWatch, Howard Bender, made the 3rd overall pick and was a little bit of a head scratcher. Bender drafted Cleveland running back Nick Chubb. RosterWatch Nation knows how much we love Nick Chubb, but he's a suboptimal pick at 3rd overall. Nick Chubb's PPR upside is limited, with Kareem Hunt projected to have a significant role in the passing game again for 2021. Chubb is RosterWatch's RB10 for 2021. Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, and Zeke Elliott all went off the board right before RosterWatch picked at number 8. We would have been excited to take any of those rare workhorse running backs. All have more risk than prior years due to QB changes, season-ending injuries, or even mileage starting to stack up. Team RosterWatch was gifted golden son Jonathan Taylor at pick 8. We were prepared to take Aaron Jones if Taylor was not there at the 8th overall pick. Taylor may lose some receiving work to Nyheim Hines, but the elite Colts offense should afford Taylor plenty of scoring opportunities and yardage opportunities to make him worth a first-round pick, especially at the back end. Davonte Adams went to Jeff Manns at pick 9. Adams will be the consensus wide receiver 1 this season, and is certainly worthy of the first-round pick in 2021. Adams has that rare high upside and high floor, unlike any other wide receiver in fantasy football. In leagues where you must start 3 wide receivers like this one plus a flex, Adams is a high-end foundational pick. Travis Kelce, drafted 10th overall by Brad Evans, won teams' fantasy leagues in 2020. Kelce's fantasy output would rank him among the wide receiver 1s for last year. Now age 32, the great tight ends tend to age well. Kelce is a defensible first-round pick, but there's opportunity cost to passing on running backs and wide receivers in the first round. Drafters of the first-round tight end tend to start chasing running backs and wide receivers in the later rounds. At the 11th overall pick, Aaron Jones fell to veteran Scott the King Angle. Jones will likely lose some goal line work to second-year running back A.J. Dillon and doesn't project to be a 250-carry running back. Jones is safely projected as more as a 215-carry running back. However, Jones' passing game work should spike and buoy his fantasy value. Tyreek Hill was the last pick of round 1. Hill is a volatile, week-winning player. Tyreek Hill doesn't have the safe floor that some of the other wide receivers have in the top tier, but he has a unique ceiling that makes him a sharp first-round pick. Dan Klaskins later paired him with Patrick Mahomes, a fantasy stack made in heaven. To see the rest of the draft board, check out the article or check out the description in the video. Some of the best value picks of this draft. Darren Waller sticks out. He went to Rick Kamala at pick 5.4. Waller was a tight end 3 in this draft after Kelce and Kittle were off the board. Getting Waller 24 picks after George Kittle was off the board is one of the best values in this entire draft. A big win for the RosterWatch cheat sheet, which directed us to take Terry McLaurin at pick 4.5, or wide receiver 14 in this draft. Terry McLaurin is a great bet to return top 10 value. To get Terry McLaurin in round 4, after we drafted 3 workhorse running backs, resulted in RosterWatch drafting from a position of strength for the next few rounds. RosterWatch will be encouraging our subscribers to get aggressive on the big 8 QBs this season. For a decade, wait on QB has been a sharp strategy. Last season revealed there are a handful of quarterbacks that you need to have a competitive advantage. However, if you do miss out on that group of difference-making quarterbacks, there is a nice pivot play. John Hanson snags Tom Brady on the 10-11 turn in this draft. Brady has all his weapons returning and looks like another 4,600 yard and 40 TD season is well within his grasps. He represents one of the best value picks at the quarterback position. Some of the best sleeper picks in this draft were Jeff Radcliffe landing Washington football team wide receiver Curtis Samuel at 9.6 or wide receiver 45. Samuel has been a popular breakout candidate for the past couple seasons. His draft day price over the past few years was not commensurate with the risk involved. This year, Samuel represents a great value with all the upside and all the risk priced in the 9th round. Team RosterWatch was targeting Colts wide receiver Paris Campbell starting in the 12th round. We played chicken and ended up landing Campbell in the 15th round. Prior to his 2 season-ending injuries with bad injury luck, Campbell profiles as an upside play that can be used all over the field. Paris Campbell certainly has top 15 wide receiver in his range of outcomes. Some of the more head-scratching picks in this draft were Kyle Pitts, who went at 6.10, the tight end 4 off the board. RosterWatch is high on Kyle Pitts for Dynasty. In redraft, he is a poor bet, as rookie tight ends generally have a tough time finishing in the top 10. Javonte Williams, the rookie running back out of North Carolina, went at pick 3.9 or RB22. The pick makes sense as the RB market gets ugly quick. Without knowing the landing spot and recent history of rookies having a slow start, it is questionable to pass on talents like Allen Robinson, Terry McLaurin, Patrick Mahomes, and DJ Moore to reach for your RB2. In conclusion, our first redraft league of the season was a huge success. Participating in a draft in April with knowledgeable competitors is a great way to gauge our valuations versus the market ADPs. The real NFL draft will almost certainly change the value of some of these veteran players. Okay, RosterWatch Nation, that's it for today. Remember to like and subscribe to get notifications when we put up new videos. And leave us a comment and let us know who your favorite pick was and who made the worst pick of the draft. Until next time, goodbye.